bad news. You're probably going to get poorer this year. There's a stat that's just come out that for the bottom 40% of households, living standards probably aren't going to reach 2022 levels until 2028.
Wow. So my bill last year, £490, and this year it's £664.
Right, I've had to come on and address the cost of living crisis. Honest now, I am raging. I just went food shopping. I've had an hour to do a quick food shop. Honest now, guys, the cost of food is beyond. £4. £4 now for Molokona yogurt. Yes, right, they're Molokona, but £4. My husband drinks Asda's homemade orange juice. It was £1.19 about 2 weeks ago. Just bought a couple of cartons for him now. It's gone up to £1.49. You know, things are not going up by a couple of pence anymore. They're going up by like 20, 30, 40 pence. That's a lot of money, like. Another thing, my Asda's in Merthyr just now were reducing down the Nicky Make kitchen rolls and toilet rolls to like 9 toilet rolls for 96 pence. I don't know how much the kitchen rolls were because there weren't any left. You know, and usually that Make toilet roll is at least £4 odd for 9 rolls. So this was a bargain, right? Again, people were just slamming loads and loads in their trolley, being really bloody greedy. And then there's people in, you know, would love like just one packet, you know, just to save 2 or 3 quid on their weekly shop. And they wonder then why people are pinching. We're not talking about pinching jewellery, perfume, makeup, clothes. No, people are pinching food. Why? Because we can't afford to eat. Because this is how much food has gone up by. The price of food is extortionate. Honest, I'm baffled by it. Yes, in my next video when I upload it, you will see I have bought a few branded things. That is only because they're on sale. I wouldn't usually buy branded foods, and you'll see that from my video. Most of it is Asda's own make. And it's like my husband likes pepperonis, pepper armies, whatever they are. If the Asda ones are cheaper, he'll have them. If the Make ones are on sale, he'll have them. Otherwise, if they're not, sorry son, you're having Asda's own make. Like, even now, Asda's own make food is just as expensive as like the branded foods. I don't fucking know what's going on, but I need some sort of money tree in order.
Due to the cost of living and things like that nowadays, a lot of people that you wouldn't think are struggling are really, really struggling. A lot of people in full-time work. There's people I know that have 2 jobs and they still find it hard. So in that sense, you can imagine how many children would suffer and have to go to school in the morning without having something to eat, through no fault of their own and through no fault of their parents either. So for that, in that respect, a lot of the primary schools that we deal with and go to see, I really, 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 really admire that work. Being a father myself, I would hate to be in the position. I would hate to have my son in that position, and that position could be a stone throw away for all of us. So, as I said, this job has really humbled me.
To be able to eat.
So, I'm at Burger King at Paddington. I haven't eaten all day. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to treat myself and get myself a burger, vegan burger, and £7.16. When the man said £7.16, I said, how much for the meal? It's like £2 more. And I'm like, bomb o'clock. Sorry, I'm talking really bad, but I was £7.16 for a burger. I beg ya, come on now. Right, is it because it's at Paddington Station? Maybe that's why, but I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten since 9 o'clock this morning, but you know what? It's got to be done, but yeah, £7.16.
Yeah. There's a stat that's just come out that for the bottom 40% of households, living standards probably aren't going to reach 2022 levels until 2028. And for everyone else, it's not going to get that much better either. The only people who are doing well at the moment are the rich, the top 10%, particularly the top 1%. is not really supposed to work like this. You know, capitalism functions because it's based on this deal between those at the top and everyone else that their lives are going to get better. The whole like bargain that was made in the 1980s was between politicians and everyone else. They said, don't look at inequality, don't look at corruption, don't look at corporate greed, just focus on the fact that your house is going to like treble in value over the next several decades. And for a while that worked, but it basically broke down during the financial crisis. And since then, there just hasn't been an answer. The only people who are responding to this crisis is basically the far right, and they're saying blame migrants, blame benefit scroungers. And the left hasn't really got an answer for that. And I'm not convinced that we can just fight back against this with like videos on TikTok, despite the fact that I'm doing one right now. Because for every one video we put out debunking things, there's like 4 spreading more lies. I really think we need to meet people where they are, in their communities, in their workplaces, on the streets, show how we fight back against this model by organizing, by getting people together in their workplaces to demand higher wages, by getting communities together to fight back against rogue landlords. That is exactly what
I've just had an email saying that they want to put my direct debit up and increase it by 260%.
What the hell?
So a bit of a backstory. I bought my house in June. We switched energy suppliers in August, I think, or that was kind of how long it took for us to get our first bill and stuff. We went with British Gas. We've got a smart meter. We live in a 3-bed, semi-detached house. There's 2 of us and we both work from home. So they filled all the stuff out online and they said that they think that we're going to pay £95 a month. So that's what we paid. I'm thinking everything's hunky-dory. I've got my smart meter. It's sending my readings every day. You know, I'm trying not to put my heating on, but I am a cold girly and I do like to rack the heating on. I don't like to be sat suffering. So anyway, I checked my account. We get our first bill, I think, on the 1st of September. Checked my account and it was £50 in debt. So I thought, oh, not great, but I know that you always, it's quite common to rack up debt in winter and then it clears off by summer because you obviously use less energy. I thought, not worried about that, I'll check it again next month. I've just been billed again and I'm now only £25 in debt, so I thought, buzzing, it's obviously going, you know, it's balancing out, I'm not using as much as I thought, as they thought. My £95 a month I'm happy with and it's going to get me through the winter month. But British Gas had other plans. So next minute I get an email from British Gas telling me that my direct debit is increasing from £95 to £265 effective as of the 1st of November. Yay! But like, can they actually do this? I'm now in less credit than I was in. I've only been with them a few months. I've not really had that long for them to figure out how much energy that I'm using. So can they really increase my payment by 260%? Like, are they allowed to do that?
This is why I left the UK permanently and I'm never going to return. I live in Thailand now. I've lived here for the last 2 years, but I actually left the UK 6 years ago, and there's so many reasons why I will never return. Number one, it's just a miserable place to be. The sky is always grey, it's raining almost all of the time, sometimes even in the summer, and it affects the mood of the people, so it makes people miserable. I enjoy being in sunshine and I don't like waiting to go on holiday every time to do it. I want to literally live in this condition. The second thing is everybody in the UK is just scraping to get by. The cost of living is through the roof. You don't get much for your money, and on top of that you are taxed so much on everything. Like, you can barely breathe without being taxed in the UK, whereas there are countries like Thailand where your money goes a lot further and you can live a really good quality of life. And the final thing is safety. In the UK you cannot walk down the street without the fear of your phone getting snatched out of your hand, and as a woman I would not walk alone at night in the UK, whereas here I feel so safe. Never had anything stolen, I've never had any sexual harassment in the street from men. I feel so safe here, and why would I want to go back to a place where I feel unsafe, where it's always grey and where I've got no money because I'm being
So this is M&S today. So we've got loads of bread, ready meals. Oh, just get my light on for you. This is what's in there today. All these ready meals, all this food.
So it's 12 to 14.
Look at that.
£30. Much in bacon.
26.
So that's 75 quid.
75 quid. And then there's all this, our best lasagna. all these.
It's
Chips.
just, it's full to the top.
It is full today. And then there's all this. And then there's all these baskets full of turkeys and full of bread sauce and full of probably bits of coffee in there, and then
Loads of sandwiches.
and stuff. But that is how much waste they've got this week.
Dates as well, for Boxing Day.
It's crazy.
Right guys, so I need your help. After my amazing income of £7.61 last night from my ASMR live, I thought I'd go shopping to my local supermarket with my daughter, pick up a few bits and pieces. You know, we buy food as we need it. A big shop is quite not affordable anymore. And I mean, what's going on? I thought there was some kind of cost of living crisis in the UK. There's no food, barely any food in the shop. The pizza section, maybe 3 or 4 different options, barely anything on this side of the fridge, which is like the cold meats and things. Hardly any choice of coffee, plenty of fresh fruit and veg though. And then we moved over to the frozen section, frozen chips at least, maybe, you know, with some chicken nuggets for dinner. Nothing there, barely any bread, no toilet paper, no kitchen towels, barely any drinks. Like, is something going on? Like, do I need to stop stockpiling food? Where's all this food going? What's going on? I mean, tell me, you know? I feel like I'm being left in the dark here.
As we all know, MPs take a salary home of around £84,144, and that's without expenses. The average family on the poverty line lives on about £10 a day or less. Obviously, you times that by 365 and you've got 3,650 quid a year to eat for a family. There are 650 MPs currently in Parliament, each one of them with that £84,144 salary. That's a collective total of £54,693,600 per year. If they decided to just take 30 grand of that a year to live on, which they can because they get their rent and stuff paid for, there would be £35,693,600 spare. That's £97,790.68 per day.